Hello and welcome. I'm going to be swatching all of the shades of the Essence Pure Nude blushes that I have. I recently got these because I was really excited about trying them out. The Essence Pure Nude highlighter has always been super hyped up, and I felt like it's been a highlighter that I would definitely like. I'm just not enough of a highlighter person that I felt super inclined to go out and purchase it. I had always wanted to try the highlighters, but now that they've come out with blushes, I thought that was so much more exciting because that's much more up my alley as far as things that I'll actually reach for. So these are $6 each. They came out with 8 shades, and I actually have 7 out of the 8. The last one that I don't have was a berry shade just because I didn't think I was going to get that much use out of it, and between the other 7 colors, I'm sure I'd get a good sense of the formulations. They are a lovely baked formulation. The packaging is atrocious. I have a few that are like, it's all kind of banged up already, and then some of them are cracking, so I don't expect like this lid to last the lifetime that the blush will last, unfortunately. But aside from that, the formulations are very lovely as far as the baked blush or powder blush goes. I feel like you really can't go wrong. I have swatched all of the colors that I have on my cheeks, so I figured I'll go ahead and start out with that. I've noticed a lot of the colors in this range are quite repetitive, so though they are beautiful and you should definitely try them out, you don't necessarily need both. So what I've done is, if there's a color that I think is kind of comparable, I've swatched them like one color on each cheek. So okay, so it's definitely a little challenging to figure out which colors I want to pair up against my 2 available cheeks at one time, but I think for today I'm gonna do Pink Flush number 2 on this side and number 7 Cool Coral on this side. Here they are next to each other. I think they actually look much more similar to my eye in person than they do in the viewfinder right now. And then, so I have a bunch of them swatched, but this is Pink Flush and this is Cool Coral, and I guess just they look kind of probably the closest. So I'll just use this brush and I'll use one side for each. This is not an exact science, you know? So here is Pink Flush. On this side, we'll do Cool Coral. That is definitely more corally. Okay, so between the two, here they are. I don't think I did a great application. I think I kind of put, or more came on with Cool Coral than with Pink Flush, so it's kind of like a little bit more intense, and then I had to build up on the other side to match it. I don't think you could really tell that I'm wearing 2 different blushes on either cheek, but that being said, Pink Flush is definitely a little bit more neutral, cooler, whereas the Coral one does have a hint more warmth for sure. The textures between both are also slightly different. They're both quite nice, but Pink Flush does have a little bit more noticeable of a glowy sheeniness to it. And here, even on my hand, you can kind of see that this one is Pink Flush and it's just got a little bit more glitteriness than Cool Coral does in contrast. Subtle differences between these two. Definitely don't need both. Okay, and this time I'm gonna be doing number 6 Rosy Rosewood against number 4 Bold Heart, with Rosy Rosewood on this side and Bold Heart on this side. These shades both don't have any noticeable shimmer or sheen to them, so they're on the more matte side. And here is, this one is Rosy Rosewood and this one is Bold Heart, and they are similar. That's kind of came on a little strong, huh? So there we go. Rosy Rosewood. And then same thing as last time, I'm just going to use the same brush but kind of flip it around and use the part I didn't use. So now this is Bold Heart, and that looks like it's going to come on a little strong, so let me be careful here. Here's Rosy Rosewood, and here is Bold Heart, with Bold Heart being a little bit brighter, a little bit more of that hot pink, which, yeah, you can definitely see that it's a little bit brighter on my cheek, but overall pretty similar, and I feel like a similar effect can be achieved with this one. My conclusion, again, between these two, you don't necessarily need both. So I've toned things down to wear more so like how I would wear blush out, and now they're even more imperceptible, and now they look even more similar on each side. For each of these comparisons, I haven't felt a need to like go back and balance it out. I just go out for the rest of my day with different blushes on each side, and I'm pretty sure no one cares. But I quite like both of these formulations. I'm pretty sure they're the same formulations because they don't have like a different level of shimmer from the others. They're just mostly not shimmery, but you know, it's nice and blurring and blends out easily without being like mattifying or dulling down the texture of my skin. Pretty nice. Today I'm gonna put Shimmery Rose on this cheek and Pretty Peach onto this cheek, and here is, this one here is Shimmery Rose, this one is Pretty Peach. These formulas have a pretty comparable amount of sheen. I have to look closer. It's possible that Shimmery Rose has a little bit more sparkle shimmer in it, and it's a little bit icier looking, and then this one over here is Goldy Cassis, which I just kind of like to show something in comparison slash contrast to the two that I've chosen to compare, to highlight that, I don't know, they're fairly similar amongst the range. Okay, so starting with Shimmery Rose. Now these blushes are quite light, so it's definitely something that like you can't really mess up slash put too much on, and I would probably recommend it for lighter skin tones, especially Shimmery Rose. I definitely packed it on. I didn't like pat off any, and it's quite subtle. Okay, now other side with Pretty Peach. It's a little bit more buildable. I feel like with Shimmery Rose, I could just like pack on more and more and it wouldn't build up any more pigment. It would just get shinier looking. Both of my cheeks have a good amount of glow, where on the Shimmery Peach side, the like glowiness has a bit more of a yellow gold effect. And on the Shimmering Peach, it's kind of got like a champagne glow to it. It's a little bit warmer and peachier on the peach side, but pretty subtle overall when you look at the flush on either side. Again, similar between these two that I've picked. I don't think you would really need either. It kind of just comes down to that little like warm or cooler undertone that you might prefer. Okay, so I figured this last shade, since I only have 7 of them, I just put on right now, which is Golden Cassis, and this is the one where amongst the colors I have, I didn't really feel like it matched up one for one with another one worth comparing to best. So I'm just going to wear this as my blush for today. I think this color is really pretty and is one of the colors I was most excited for. So there's that. I know this lighting is a little bit different, but here is Golden Cassis. So going over them all together, here are the 7 shades I have. This first one is Shimmery Rose, then this one is Pink Flush, Golden Cassis, Bold Heart. Yeah, next one is Bold Heart. And then this is Pretty Peach, Rosy Rosewood, and finally, this is Cool Coral. And I don't know, you can take a look yourself. When I was shopping online at Ulta, I thought like they kind of looked distinctive enough. And the descriptions of them, I don't know, I just thought like, oh, it would be more different. Nevertheless, I feel like there are a lot of similarities. I probably only need like 2 shades, maybe 3. I think my favorites are Bold Heart, Golden Cassis, and then Shimmery Rose. And then as far as having like ones that are kind of distinctive enough to look different on my face. So cycling back a bit, there are a couple of different formulations even within this range. There's one that has like no sheen, no glow, pretty much. I think it's a matte formulation, and that would be Bold Heart, and I believe, yeah, Rosy Rosewood. They don't make your face look flat or anything. You can kind of see there's some reflective quality to this powder, so it's not like a flat matte, but it doesn't have any added sparkle to it. I think these are really beautiful. I quite like this formulation. You know, it's got a nice blurring quality to it. None of these like dry my skin out. I think they're just lovely to work with. They taper out at like the edges of where my blush is really nicely. The ones that do have a sheen, so there's a formulation that has just a sheen, and the one that has a little bit more of a sparkle to it in this range. Let me see if I can distinguish them. I know Shimmering Rose for sure has a little bit of that sparkling quality to it, where if you look really closely you can see a little bit of glitter quality. But otherwise, for example, Cool Coral, it's just got like a sheen to it, but no sparkle. I don't know if you'll really be able to pick it up. But in any case, there's a little bit of variation. The ones that do have a sheen or a shimmer to them add a really nice, beautiful glow. I do think that it can, like if I have one of the ones on, for example, I have Golden Cassis on and my skin is quite glowy, I don't feel any need for a highlighter at all. And if you really, really buff it in, you can get more of that glow impact. Personally, I think that the formulation without any added like shimmer is one of my favorites. As far as a powder blush formulation goes, I think this has pretty much anything that you could want. They're really luxurious feeling, honestly. They just blend out seamlessly. They pick up, aside from Shimmering Rose, they're all pretty buildable. Shimmering Rose is the lightest color, and I feel like, you know, you really can't get that much more than this. If I add on more, all I get is more glowiness to it. But otherwise, they have a lot of flexibility to the formulation. They're just so pleasant to work with, and I really think that you can't go wrong with these. Amongst the range, I really like what they've done. It would just be good, I think, if it was clarified a little bit more, which ones like don't really have that added sparkle. Because I wouldn't have known otherwise. Like if I had just gotten one, I would have thought that it was the same amount of shimmer throughout all of the other shades. In any case, I also used Golden Cassis as my eyeshadow today. Yeah, it's just flexible and a beautiful formula that's easy to work with, and I think amongst the whole shade range, you'll definitely be able to find one shade that is appealing. So let me know if you try them out. I very much enjoy them and would definitely recommend them. Just probably not all the colors. You probably only need like 2, 3 tops out of the whole range, but you know, they're only $6, so if you want to go for it. Let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.